For 3 videos now, we've been creeping earlier into the game. The full 9 innings, then the first 5, and today we go all the way back to the first pitch. This is NRFI, no runs first inning, one of the most popular bets in all of baseball and one of the most misunderstood. The bet is simple. You're wagering that neither team scores in the first inning. No runs in the top, no runs in the bottom. It settles in minutes, 6 outs, and you know. That speed and simplicity is exactly why casual bettors pile in and exactly why the book prices it the way it does. Today, what NRFI really is, why it feels safer than it actually is, and how to find the ones actually worth betting. First, you start with the base rate. Start with the one number that anchors everything. Across the league, a little over half of all first innings are scoreless. Call it the low to mid 50s percentage-wise. That's why NRFI hits often enough to feel like a sure thing. But that base rate swings hard by matchup. 2 strong starters can push it north of 60%, while a weak pitching matchup drops it under 45. The league average is your starting point, not the answer for tonight's specific game. Why it feels safe and why that's the trap. Here's what the book knows that you might not. Because most first innings are scoreless, the book prices NRFI as the favorite, usually somewhere around -110 to -140, and up near -160 when 2 aces face off. The yes run side, YRFI, is the plus money underdog. So NRFI feels like easy, safe money, and casual bettors hammer it every single night. That's the trap. Blindly betting NRFI across the whole slate does not beat the juice. You pay a tax on every game, and it grinds you down over time. NRFI is a matchup bet, not a default. The edge is in picking your spots, not betting all of them. It takes 2 scoreless halves. Never lose sight of what NRFI actually requires. Both halves of the inning have to stay scoreless, the top and the bottom. That's 2 different lineups, 2 different pitchers, and 2 separate chances for a single run to ruin your bet. YRFI only needs 1 run from either team in either half. So the yes side has 2 ways to win, and the no side needs both of them to fail. That asymmetry is why 1 sloppy pitcher or 1 hot leadoff man can sink an NRFI you loved on paper. The first inning is a top of the order bet. Here's the structural key most people skip past. The first inning is the one inning in the entire game where you are guaranteed to see the top of both lineups. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters, the best bats on each team, all come to the plate. So NRFI is really a bet on 2 starting pitchers against the best part of each order. That's why the quality of these top 3 hitters matters more here than almost anywhere else on the board. A lineup built around an elite leadoff man is a first inning threat by design. Handicap the inning, not the season. Just like the first 5 innings, don't handicap this off a pitcher's season ERA. What you want is his first inning performance specifically. Some pitchers are notoriously slow starters who give up a run in the first before they settle in. They can be great pitchers in terrible NRFI plays. Others lock down the opening inning cold every time. Look at first inning ERA and first inning strikeout rate. That single inning is the entire bet, so handicap that single inning. Know when to fade. The flip side of the top of the order point is knowing when to stay away. Teams built around an elite leadoff hitter score early far more often than average. To give you a sense of the spread, the best first inning offenses push a run across in the top of the first in nearly 40% of their games, while the weakest early offenses do it barely 20% of the time. So when a great starter runs into one of those high-powered tops of the order, that's not an NRFI. That's a YRFI, lean or pass. Weather and park squeezed into one inning. Everything you learned about the totals still applies here, just squeezed into a single inning. Pitcher-friendly parks are in cold, still air, favor NRFI. Hitters' parks, heat and wind blowing out, favor YRFI. A scoreless first is far likelier on a cold night at a pitcher's park than on a warm afternoon at Coors Field. Stack the conditions with the pitching. Don't fight them. Bet the gap, not the outcome. Last one, and it ties the whole series together. NRFI is not really about whether the first inning stays scoreless. It's about whether it stays scoreless more often than the price implies. Convert the odds into a break-even percentage. Build your own NRFI number from the pitching, the tops of the order, the park, and the weather. Then bet only when your number clears the price. Same discipline as every other video. You're betting the gap, not the outcome. Let's look at heater and an actual NRFI wager on today's games. Okay, let's go over to heater and see if we can find a good NR no runs first inning bet. Yankees Rays, the over-under is on the lower side at 7.5. Let's check out that NRFI bet. Do the analysis. We've got Paul Blackburn for the Yankees going against Drew Rasmussen for the Tampa Bay Rays. The Yankees are the underdog in this game. So let's see what the analysis says. Blackburn's first inning ERA is 5.67. That's ugly. And it says there, that's ugly. And his whip is heavy base runner traffic right out of the gate. So there's risk there on the Yankee side. Let's see about the Rays side. 4.47 ERA in the first. That's still kind of high. The whip is lower, much lower than the Yankee starter. I think the real risk here is on the Yankees allowing a run in the first inning. And yeah, I think I would go with, because of that, I would go YRFI. And I think, yeah, the recommendation is YRFI with about a 62% confidence lean, which means we'll get plus money out of that. And it should be a pretty, these are the kinds of bets we want to make against the NRFI. So this is a perfect example. And that's the NRFI. Heater runs the first inning math on every game, every night. The link's in the description. And here's where we go next. Notice how the last two videos kept circling back to one player, the starting pitcher. So next time we bet him directly, the strikeout prop, how the number's set, and actually where the value lives. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.